Hey, my wonderful, wonderful people, a pleasant evening to you. Beautiful people, I'm noticing that there is a talk to merge Emancipation Day with Independence Day. All right, let me just give you the definition of both so you can understand the difference between the two. So emancipation, the definition says it refers to the act of being freed from legal, social, or political restrictions, typically from slavery or bondage. I could add spiritual as well. It is focused on the liberation of individuals or groups from systems of oppression, particularly slavery. And it gives an example in the context of the Caribbean and other former colonies. It specifically refers to the ending of the transatlantic slave trade and the freedom of enslaved Africans, which I said to my colleague earlier today. So it signifies the ending of something. It's an ending, you know, like you said, oh my God, it has finally come to a halt. It has ceased. And emancipation, you know, is often about personal or social freedom. It is primarily concerned with human rights and the dignity of individuals who had been subjugated. Independence. Independence refers to the political freedom of a nation or territory from foreign control, allowing it to govern itself without interference from a colonial or imperial power. So the emancipation just speaks to that ending of you know, like the transatlantic slavery, apartheid, the ending of it socially, spiritually, politically, and otherwise. While this refers to political freedom of a nation, because emancipation begins with the individual. So you would look at emancipation more as it's personal but yet collective. But independence is more collective and on a broader spectrum. It relates to the country. So it is freedom of a nation or territory from foreign control, allowing it to govern itself without interference from a colonial or imperial power. So it has moved from stage one of just ending slavery. It is now gaining and has gained sovereignty to lead, to charter courses. And it is centered on the sovereignty of a nation, as I said, marking the point at which it gains full control over its political, legal, and economic systems. It is about national self-determination and the ability to chart one's own future as a country. I didn't even see that part, and I stated it. I want you to understand the importance of Emancipation Day as it relates to Jamaica and Independence Day. So Emancipation Day in Jamaica, celebrated on August 1, holds profound historical and cultural significance as it marks the abolition of slavery in the British Empire in 1834. For Jamaica, a nation with a history deeply shaped by the transatlantic slave trade, this day commemorates the freedom of enslaved Africans and their descendants from centuries of bondage under British colonial rule. One, the historical importance, it commemorates the official end of slavery. So emancipation, you would say you have been set free, but independence is like you're made free. There is a difference between the two. So it commemorates the official end of slavery and the beginning of a new era for the majority of Jamaica's population who were enslaved Africans and their descendants. Although full freedom was not achieved until 1838 due to the apprenticeship system, the day still symbolizes a decisive break from the brutal past of forced labor. So that is being set free. So the shackles are pulled. So that is what the emancipation is. Cultural and national identity. Emancipation Day is crucial to Jamaica's national identity, highlighting the resilience and resistance of the African population against colonial oppression. It serves as a reminder of the struggles for freedom and justice that are a core part of Jamaica's historical narrative. Reflection on social justice. The day prompts reflection on the ongoing impacts of slavery, such as racial inequalities, economic disparities, and the struggles for true emancipation in the social and economic spheres. It fosters discussions around Jamaica's post-colonial challenges and the need for continued progress towards equality and empowerment for all citizens. Cultural celebrations. Emancipation Day is marked with ceremonies, parades, and cultural events including drumming, dancing, and storytelling to honor the African heritage and preserve the memory of those who fought for freedom. It is also closely linked with Jamaica's Independence Day, August 6th, 2 different days. Remember, it's being set free, emancipation, made free, independence, creating a week of national pride and reflection known as Emancipation and Independence Week. In some, Emancipation Day, Jamaica is not only a celebration of freedom from slavery, but also a day to acknowledge the country's long struggle for justice, dignity, and nationhood. And for you to get to a sort of being set free, being made free, you have to be set free first. Independence Day, vis-a-vis Independence Day in Jamaica, celebrated on August 6, marks the nation's freedom from British colonial rule in 1962. The day is significant both historically and culturally, symbolizing Jamaica's journey towards self-determination and national sovereignty. You're being made free now. Its importance can be understood in several dimensions. Historical significance. Independence Day commemorates the moment when Jamaica became a sovereign nation, no longer governed by British colonial administrators. After centuries of colonization, exploitation, and oppression, Jamaica took control of its own political and economic destiny. The transition was peaceful, though through legal and diplomatic processes, reflecting the maturity of Jamaica's independence movement. National pride and identity. Independence Day is central to Jamaica's national identity as it signifies the birth of modern Jamaican nation state. It is a moment to celebrate the cultural richness of the island, from its African Caribbean roots to its contribution to global cultural through music, art, and sports. This has been in the Made Free. The day fosters a sense of unity and national pride among Jamaicans, both on the island and in the diaspora. Political autonomy. Independence Day granted Jamaica the ability to govern itself, create its own laws, and manage its own international relations. It was a significant shift from being a colony where decisions were made in London to becoming a member of the United Nations and other international organizations with the power to chart its own course. So you have set free, which has not brought you into the sovereignty, which is a part of the made free. Economic aspirations. Independence also represented the hope for economic development and a break from the colonial system that had exploited the island's resources, while Jamaica still faced challenges in building a robust economy post-independence. The day symbolizes the aspiration for economic empowerment and control over the nation's resources. Cultural significance and celebrations. Independence Day is a vibrant national holiday marked by festivals, parades, and cultural performances. The week leading up to Independence Day, known as Emancipation and Independence Week, features traditional music including reggae and mento dance and exhibitions that showcase Jamaica's rich heritage. National symbols such as the Jamaican flag, and national anthem are central to the celebrations. In essence, Jamaica's Independence Day celebrates the island's hard-won freedom from colonial domination and its emergence as a sovereign nation. It is a day of reflection on the progress made since 1962 and a time to look forward to continued development, unity, and pride as an independent country. We don't need to merge the two. They're separate. You have to be set free first in order to be made free. So we need to know that finally this thing has ended. Now we can chart our own course. So Independence Day needs to be separated. Do not merge the two. It's not a harem, scarum, hairy-fairy thing. It is not something frivolous. We need to keep things that are national to us. We need to, hold that national pride and dignity. Guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube.